a very promising young player. And the thing with him, the reason why I didn't pick him for my Rookie of the Year candidate is just the fact that I'm just going based off of Paul George coming back, Joel Embiid coming back, Tyrese Maxey still playing at a high level. So I just didn't think he'll have the same type of opportunities that somebody in Utah will have. But he's definitely a solid player, and I think he's going to be a real good contributor.
Everyone loves potential. Everyone loves upside. But here's the uncomfortable question nobody likes asking. What if the most valuable players aren't the loud ones? What if they're the ones you only notice once the game starts slipping away? Because every season there's a moment where highlights stop mattering. The pace slows, the crowd gets quiet, and suddenly the only thing that counts is who can think faster than everyone else on the floor. That's when real value shows up. Not in box scores, not in mixtapes, but in decisions, in timing, in the plays nobody clips because they don't look dramatic enough. And that's where this conversation actually starts. But before we start, if you love basketball and you're one of the 90% who watch without subscribing, it's time to join the NBA Inside family. Click it and let's live this season together. Because the player we're talking about isn't rising by accident. He's rising because the game is asking harder questions. And he keeps answering them. VJ Edgecombe didn't arrive in the league like a storm. There was no immediate face of the franchise branding. No non-stop debate shows arguing about whether he was already a star. And yet, on opening night in Boston, he walked into an environment that eats rookies alive and dropped 34 points, 14 in the first quarter, 5 threes, 42 minutes.
Defender, willing defender.
Edgecombe lets fly from outside, and VJ Edgecombe has another.
Not because he forced it, not because the offense bent around him, but because when the Sixers fell behind, he didn't blink. Corner 3 off a Maxey kickout. Strong finishes through contact in the third. Calm free throws late in a 1-point game. He blended in long enough for teams to underestimate him. And then, slowly, possession by possession, he started taking things away from him. The first thing you notice isn't even the scoring, it's the trust. But let's put some numbers on that trust. 16.5 points per game, 5.4 rebounds for a 6'4" guard, 38.7% from 3 on 6.2 attempts, plus 2.4 plus minus 35.2 minutes per game. And get this, he's the only top 5 Rookie of the Year candidate with a positive plus minus this season. Those aren't box score filler numbers, those are connector numbers. Rookies don't get late clock responsibilities. They don't get assigned to the other team's best scorer when the game is tight. They don't get waved into actions when veterans are standing on the floor looking for the ball. Unless the coaching staff believes you won't break. Edgecombe hasn't broken. Philadelphia isn't protecting him, they're challenging him. And that tells you plenty. When a team asks a rookie to defend up a position, initiate late offense, and still sprint the floor like his job depends on it, that's not development. That's investment. And Edgecombe has paid it back with interest. Let's get this out of the way. Yes, the scoring matters. Yes, the efficiency jump is real. Yes, the shooting improvement changes everything.
Still plenty of time though. VJ Edgecombe answering right back.
But if you stop there, you miss the point. What separates Edgecombe isn't how many points he scores, it's when he scores them. And more importantly, when he doesn't force them. Early in the season, you could see the adjustment period. The game was faster. The windows were tighter. The help defense arrived earlier than expected. His 3-point percentage dipped. Defenders dared him to rush. And instead of panicking, he slowed down. That's rare. Most young guards respond to pressure by speeding up. They dribble harder. They shoot quicker. They try to prove they belong every single possession. Edgecombe did the opposite. He started reading second defenders instead of challenging them. He began using hesitations instead of pure burst. He let plays develop instead of trying to beat them to the spot. And when the shooting came back, 48% over a recent 3-game stretch, it didn't feel streaky. It felt earned. Now, defenders can't sag. They can't cheat to the paint. They can't gamble passing lanes the same way. Suddenly, Edgecombe isn't reacting to defenses. He's manipulating them. He's dragging help defenders a step too far. He's freezing weak side rotations just long enough. He's forcing mistakes without rushing the action. Here's where the long-term picture starts to get interesting. Edgecombe doesn't need volume to impact the game. He doesn't need the ball every trip. And that matters more than people realize. On teams built around ball-dominant stars, the hardest thing to find isn't talent, it's compatibility. You can score 25 a night and still be a problem if everything has to run through you. You can average fewer points and still tilt a game if you amplify everyone else.
In fact, there might have been a push by Grady Dick on Quentin Grimes, so we play on VJ Edgecombe!
Edgecombe fits the second category. He cuts with purpose. He relocates instead of standing still. He understands spacing in a way most rookies don't. Watch him when the ball isn't in his hands. He's not spectating. He's setting traps for defenders. He's drifting into open windows. He's timing his movement so help defenders have to choose between him and someone else. Those choices add up. And when defenses overreact, that's when he attacks. Defensively, this is where the separation really begins. There are rookies who survive on defense. There are rookies who hide. In his first game under those lights, he took the assignment on Jalen Brunson. Fought through screens instead of switching, stayed attached without reaching. Brunson went 1 for 10 in the second half. That's not surviving, that's asserting yourself. He takes pride in guarding players bigger than him. He anticipates angles instead of chasing from behind. He doesn't reach. He doesn't gamble unless the read is there. That alone earns minutes. But what pushes him into a different tier is how quickly he turns defense into offense. Against Golden State, with 8 seconds left, he read the inbounder's eyes and jumped the pass. Game-winning layup. The possession before that, he blocked the same player twice on the same play. Left hand, right hand. A deflection becomes a push. A loose ball becomes a fast break. A stop becomes momentum. Those are silent momentum swings. They don't show up as highlights, but you feel them when the other team suddenly calls timeout and nobody can explain why. That doesn't happen by accident. That's awareness. There was a stretch recently where everything crystallized. Against Memphis in overtime, after Ja Morant had poured in 31 points in the second half, Edgecombe didn't hunt the moment. He set a screen, slipped it, found space. Game-winning 3 with 1.7 seconds left. He didn't force himself into the story. He slid into it. He absorbed contact. He responded to buckets instead of reacting to them. He stayed aggressive without hijacking possessions. And the most important part, when the defense collapsed, he made the right pass, or the right cut, or the right read.
Maxey, Edgecombe, puts it up, splash!
Against Dallas, it was a game-winning putback with 0.9 seconds left. No play call, just being available. That's the difference between a scorer and a cornerstone. Anyone can get hot. Not everyone can stay composed when the game tilts and emotions spike. Edgecombe did. That's when people around the league started paying closer attention. Because moments like that don't lie. Let's talk comparisons. Not to box him in, but to understand trajectory. There are flashes of players who built their value on feel rather than flash. The patience of a guard who doesn't rush the read. The edge of a wing who doesn't shy away from contact. The discipline of someone who understands that defense keeps you on the floor when shots stop falling. That blend is rare, and it's sustainable. This isn't a player living off unsustainable shooting luck or broken rotations. This is someone winning on fundamentals, effort, and processing speed. Those things age well. They also travel well, meaning no matter the opponent, no matter the environment, his impact doesn't disappear when the lights get brighter. Around the 4-minute mark of tight games, something interesting keeps happening. The floor shrinks, spacing gets tighter, defenses lock in, and Edgecombe doesn't disappear. He doesn't force himself into the moment. He slides into it. A timely cut, a kick-out 3, a defensive stop that flips possession, a rebound he has no business getting. That's where trust gets built, because stars don't just score late, they stabilize late. And that's what he's already doing as a rookie. Now zoom out. Look at the bigger picture in Philadelphia. You've got dominant interior presence. You've got a primary scoring guard who draws attention every night. What you need next isn't another ball hog. You need someone who connects everything. Someone who can defend elite guards one night and bigger wings the next. Someone who doesn't need plays called for him to matter. Someone who can step into bigger moments without demanding them. Edgecombe fits that blueprint perfectly. And that's why this feels less like a hot streak and more like a foundation being laid. There's also something else that doesn't get talked about enough. Body language. Edgecombe doesn't look rushed. He doesn't look overwhelmed. He doesn't look like he's borrowing confidence from anyone else. He looks comfortable being uncomfortable. Miss a shot, he sprints back. Get beat, he adjusts. Big moment, same pace. That emotional consistency is rare in young players, and it's contagious. Veterans trust players who don't fluctuate emotionally. Coaches lean on them. Teammates follow their lead. You don't have to be the loudest voice to command respect. Sometimes you just have to be reliable. Will there be bumps? Of course. Defenses will adjust. Scouting reports will sharpen. Teams will test his discipline and patience. That's the next step. But the encouraging part is this. Edgecombe has already shown he can adapt. He's improved his shooting. He's refined his decision-making. He's embraced defensive responsibility instead of avoiding it. Those trends point in one direction, up. So here's the real question. How many rookies do you trust in a playoff series right now? How many do you trust to close a game without hijacking it? How many do you trust to guard up a position and still make the right read offensively? That group is small, and Edgecombe is playing his way onto it. Not with noise, not with hype, but with consistency, which in this league is the most dangerous trait of all time. Because by the time everyone realizes what he is, he's already become it.